Do you ever wonder why our relationships with our adult children are much worse than we ever thought they would be? You know, I never planned on this, and I don't think any of you ever did either. And earlier this week, I posted a video talking about why our kids go no contact. And today I have some additional items that I'd like to talk about, some additional reasons why this could be happening for you. So the first is toxic family dynamics. And I'm going to be honest, I don't like the word toxic, and I've shared that before, because toxic is a behavior. It doesn't mean the person is toxic, right? And we get that's a big misconception and something that I truly don't agree with. But when there's emotional abuse or physical abuse, especially physical, 100% agree with this decision about why kids go no contact. But what about the rest of the time? I mean, experiencing emotional abuse within the family, even such as constant criticism, can really drive the decision sometimes to go no contact, because our kids grow up and become adults and they have the right to choose if they want to participate in any relationship. And I know that is so hard to believe, but that includes us. It includes us. And it's hard to fathom that I could barely get my head around that for a very, very long time. Because that's not what we thought family was, right? And you're right, it's not. But me personally, I think it takes a heart change and some good communication in any relationship, and it can be turned around. But both parties have to be willing. And manipulation is another reason here under toxicity, because family dynamics that, sometimes happen where kids can feel like they've been guilt-tripped or manipulated even by the parent. But I know also in this case, as a mom, we've definitely been manipulated. So it definitely goes both ways. Number 2 is personal growth. Personal growth is amazing, right? Like, we want to see our kids grow in so many wonderful ways, because after all, we were raising adults, not children. But many times, they can seek this growth and independence, and they distance themselves because they want to explore their own path. And sometimes it's not a healthy thing. Sometimes it's not a healthy path, which is another reason they leave, right? Because you can't be in the family and doing other things at the same time. But they have this desire for this self, for autonomy, and they want to shape their own life and not have anyone tell them what to do. And there's some truth to that. And in that sense, I don't think we should be telling our kids what to do at this point, if we're talking about adult children here. And if you've worked with me at all, you know that that's a huge piece of what I teach, because the time for laying down the law has long been gone. And it's time to try to build a relationship based on two adults, and eventually more of a friendship. Hopefully, that's usually the goal, But what about the times where the parents were just really trying to do the best they could with what they knew? I think too many times people are forgetting that. And again, it goes back to having a heart change. But most of these moms or dads even, most of them meant no harm. I am not excusing the ones that did, okay? I'm not excusing that whatsoever. Number 3 is cultural and society factors, because as well as I do, there's a stigma associated with certain family situations. And there's also pressure to conform to society's expectations, aka social media. That is keeping up with the Joneses, right? Too many people are worried about that, including sometimes moms and sometimes the kids, right? And also cultural norms. I've talked with a lot of moms from different cultures, and sometimes those norms that they've had their whole life, it dictates family obligations sometimes, and maybe, it can clash with personal choices, which is why a lot of the kids can leave as well. And so I'm just giving you a list of reasons that I've seen why kids are leaving. And there's also many times where we don't know why. Truly, really do not know why. But that time will come where the truth will set these moms free. I know it will. But there's so many factors, and this is such a heartbreaking situation. But I also believe that the children who've walked away from families, are also hurting, just like the moms, in their own way. And like I said, unless you've been emotionally or physically abused to the point where there's just no turning back, Everything else deserves family. And I stand for the family, and I just look forward to continuing to serve you.